positive thoughts.
Okay.
Just so you know, that's where my head was today.
All right, we're back. Thanks for being here. You're listening to Klein Time. For those of you just tuning in to the 3 o'clock hour, I'm Dr. David Calabro. I'm filling in for the great Dan Klein. Usually I'm here from Thursday during this hour with Dan Klein from Thursdays 3 to 4 p.m. Today he's doing some extra work, and so he asked me to fill in his big shoes here from the 2 to 4 p.m. hour. My name is Dr. David Calabro. I'm a chiropractor, certified pediatric and pregnancy chiropractor, certified clinical nutritionist, Institute of Integrative Nutrition, holistic health coach, author, lecturer, all-around caring guy. My office is located in Linwood, New Jersey in Central Square. The phone number there is 609-653-9501. You could go to calabrochiropractic.com. You could go to YouTube at Calabro Chiropractic and Wellness. Right now, Facebook Live at David J. Calabro. Here, WONDradio.com. Click on Listen to Us Live, and then click on the arrow, and we'll be there. So you have access to us all over the place. There's just no excuse. And on the radio if you're driving, 1400 AM, WOND, South Jersey's news talk leader. So I'm here with a show dedicated to you, the listener, because without you, there's really no reason for me to be here. I don't actually get paid to be here. I'm here to share information, to educate, motivate, inspire, hopefully cause you to say, how am I living? How can I live better to improve my life? Because the things we talk about here work. They might be different. They might push your belief systems a little bit. They might get you a little agitated even, but they work if you apply them. Audra's at the producer's desk. Salian, part of my team, she's here as well, doing Facebook Live and social media and chiming in. That's that voice you heard from left field.
Hello. Hello.
Just happened to come in from left field. I want you to win when it comes to your health. I'm not going to know probably 1% of the people listening. But I care for you. I care for your well-being. I want you to live a healthy, good life. I want you to feel good. I want you to function good. I want you to enjoy this life. I know there are no guarantees. I know stuff happens. I know we could do all the right things and still get a bad diagnosis, a bad outcome, bad tragedy. There's stuff that happens. But if we can do what we can to create a good life, to create great health, then let's do it. I want that for you. From the bottom of my heart, I want that for you. I've seen what disease and sickness and people struggling with health does. It's not fun. It is not a good show. It's just not a good, fun way to live. And we just accept things as we get older, that they're just part of age and they're part of getting older, and that is just a lie. That is just a lie. There's disease processes that are going on right now in people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, and they won't actually manifest or become known until their 60s, 70s, or 80s. It takes time for certain things to happen because we go by how we feel. And we go get blood tests and we think, oh, okay, my cholesterol is okay, and my blood pressure is okay. All right, those are good biomarkers to have in range, but there's other aspects to life and health. Health and vitality is not just what your cholesterol level and your blood pressure is. It's how are you living? What is your quality of life? What's your energy? What's the healing capacity to your body? Are you living well? So what is your health worth to you? You know, everyone says it's worth a lot, but I think that's just a catchphrase. They don't really mean it until they get sick and they lose it. And then they're like, wow, what do I need to do to get better? We live backwards. We wait for the tragedy, we wait for the crisis, and then try and treat it instead of how can I create and produce health and wellness to avoid having to treat something later. We know we live sick. We know that because we spend so much on healthcare. We spend over $3 trillion on healthcare a year. And we have a sick society. healthcare costs are expensive because of people being sick, not because of people being healthy. You want to solve the healthcare crisis? You want premiums to go down? You want healthcare coverage to cost less? Get healthier. Period. Right now, we're in a pandemic where they're taking away all these things. Distance yourself. Right? There's all these laws. Distance yourself. Wear a mask. Do this. Get vaccinated. Do it. Whatever it is. Well, gee, I don't know. Let's talk about high blood pressure. Let's talk about heart disease. Let's talk about diabetes and obesity that kill hundreds of thousands, that cost billions of dollars a year. And we don't want to take action on that, though. I understand that's not a contagion. These things are chronic health lifestyle problems as opposed to a virus. But why is it we can't wage a war of intensity on those things that we're doing right now? And right now, no one's talking about how to become healthier during these times, how to strengthen your immune system during these times. You know what they tell you? You're not good enough. You're not healthy enough. So you have to do all these other things and hide and go away and not be around people because you're not healthy enough. In the first hour, we talked about a sperm and egg coming together, and out comes you, the miracle of life, 9 months later. There wasn't Johnson & Johnson and pharmaceutical companies with little people in there constructing you and building you with drugs and all kinds of stuff. It was creation. It was life. The power that made the body can heal the body. The power of creation is still in you. It gets tarnished and degenerated because we live poorly, because we live in a way that produces sickness, disease, and illness. That's why we can't fight this thing. The people that are dying are the people mostly that have comorbidities and health problems. The people living are getting through it, can get through it. We have a 98% survival rate in this pandemic. 98%. Before all these vaccines and everything. Which means you have the capacity to survive and heal and get through it. So don't tell me you're not good enough. Don't tell me it's not possible. Don't tell me that if we live better, we can live better. We're just not doing what we need to do because everyone's telling you you're not good enough. You need all these external things in order to be healthy. They're not telling you what are the ingredients that are necessary for you to create health and wellness. And you already know what they are. The thing is you're just not doing them, and you're not doing them to a higher level of degree to see the amazing results that you're capable of because you're not willing to give up stuff. You're not willing to play at a higher level. You're not willing to go to a chiropractor because your friend's sister's mother's uncle's aunt said, don't go. You heard something. One person... I heard a person who had something happen to them. Over 100,000 people die a year to medication prescribed properly. There's so much out there, and you're trying to tell me that you hear one story and that's how you judge something? The chiropractic profession has been around for 125 years. We're part of the healthcare system. We're recognized throughout the country, I guess throughout the world too. We're part of healthcare. We're recognized. I pay $1,700 a year in malpractice insurance.
Wow.
That's how risky you are coming to me. That's how much risk there is.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Right? I mean, less than $2,000 a year in malpractice insurance. People spend more than that on cable.
This is true.
What is it, like $200 a month on cable? Right?
Yep.
They pay over $2,000 a month for cable, yet they don't have money to come to a chiropractor. Or if they're smokers, or they're drinking, or they and I'm not judging anybody. Just think about how your priorities and how you're spending money and what you're doing. The things we hear, I don't have the money, I don't have the time. Well, it's funny, when people get sick, all of a sudden they have the time. They find the time.
You know, it's funny. One of my girlfriends asked me not that long ago, since I, made changes and stuff, and she said to me, if for some reason, if you ever left, moved on and didn't work for Dr. Dave anymore, would you still get chiropractic care? And I thought, what an interesting question. Of course I would. I would figure out a way to afford that no matter what, because it is, as you know, because you're my chiropractor, not just my boss, but it's a high priority in my care for my lifestyle.
I would do what I could, knowing what I know, doing what I do.
Absolutely.
To make sure that I can get some kind of care.
Absolutely.
And some care is better than none. But obviously, I was talking to a patient yesterday. And I've had this conversation with a few people, which probably means I need to educate them or bring this up a little more often. Frequency of care. How often should I get adjusted? Right?
And it's different for everyone, right?
It's different for everybody. There is no cookbook. So, typically in the beginning when someone comes into care, they're coming in more often, and as they get better, and their condition gets better, their symptoms get better, but they stabilize and get stronger and heal, they come in less and less and less. And then you recommend that they come in for maintenance or wellness care, right? You just, to maintain it, because a lot of times people come in, if they have arthritic joints, if they have disc degeneration, if they have things like that, those are permanent, those are not going away. So they can have less pain for a period of time, but if they have these weak links and they stop care and they go back to doing what they're doing, or they're living, or they're lifting, or they're bending, or they're twisting, or doing whatever, those conditions might come back, or their symptoms might come back, or the condition can progress. So the whole idea is, once you feel better, that's not the end of care. That's the beginning of your wellness journey. We just got you through symptom relief.
Yeah, the crisis, right.
We got you through symptom relief care. Now it's time to go into wellness care. And that's different. That's not only adjustments, that's lifestyle stuff. To preserve your health and wellness and create health and wellness. To keep you out of the doctor's office except for wellness checkups. I'm not saying never to go to an MD or a doctor. I'm saying we want to keep you from going there with health problems as much as possible. I'm all for people getting checkups. Yes, go get your eyes checked. Go get your blood work yearly, annually, more often, however you do it. Go get your teeth cleaned regularly. Do the things for your body that create health and wellness, not just adjustments, but whatever. But we're not against those things. We want to keep you from having to avoid health problems, minimize or eliminate the need for drugs or surgery. And if those things, you have to go to those things, okay, they're there, but that's not the first effort. That's not where you start. You start non-invasive, conservative, and go into more invasive,
That's what I love
procedures.
most about our long-term pediatric moms with kids, is they don't go to the pediatrician first. They come to you. I love it. I just love that whole concept of getting adjusted. The kids go, I need to see Dr. Dave. Like, they innately know that if they don't feel good, they need to get adjusted. It's a crack up.
Or they go for their annual checkups, and the doctor's surprised that they're doing so well.
We haven't seen you in a year, yeah.
Yeah, they haven't been in for a while for anything. That's good.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they change their diet up, clean their kids' diet up a little bit, less sugar, less processed foods, right? And they're getting adjusted, and they see transformation in their kids' health. It's not rocket science. It's not a secret. It's not a mystery. It's what's supposed to happen.
And our two newest had instant, literally
So we have
24 to 48 hour changes.
We have a 5-year-old with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. So it's an autoimmune condition, right? And from the age of, was it 3 or whatever? I'm going to say 3 to 5, right? 3 maybe she was diagnosed, maybe even earlier.
Maybe even earlier, yeah. I don't
maybe
remember.
A year and a half? I don't know. It was really young, early on.
I don't remember.
And she was getting shots of whatever for her autoimmune condition. And she was on 2 or 3 drugs. And so we did a food sensitivity test on her. And it started adjusting her. And she's doing great. She's not on her mother chose for the family to start living more holistically. That's what she wanted to do. So she started getting adjusted, with nutrition and all this other stuff. So she
dove right in.
She took charge and said, "My family, we're going to live different."
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're doing. And as a result, they're seeing the benefits of it.
Mm-hmm.
They got food sensitivity tests. They're getting adjusted. It's a family of 4. And they're doing great.
Mm-hmm.
Now, over Easter, her daughter had candy with dairy in it, right? Because dairy was one of her food sensitivities.
Mm-hmm.
And her joints in her hands swelled up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, it's food triggers autoimmune conditions. People don't want to recognize that. The medical profession doesn't recognize that. Food triggers all autoimmune conditions, right? It's a trigger amongst maybe a few of what fuels them. And you have to identify and clean up the diet in the autoimmune conditions. It is vital and part of, if you want to get better, if you want to reduce your pain and inflammation and reduce your drugs, you have to change your diet and clean it up.
Well, I can attest to the removing just a few things made all the difference in the course of like 7 days. Swelling, edema, inflammation. Even within a month, my adjustments were completely different than they've been all these years. Physically, it was just an extraordinary change. Forget the last 9 months. Just that first week or two was like, wow.
People, going back to that, your point, when you made all your changes and Sally made all kinds of lifestyle changes, lost 50 pounds, less tremendous amount of inflammation, reduction in her body, all this stuff. But from my end, just adjusting her has been different. She's holding her adjustments longer, but adjusting her is easier. Not just from a weight perspective, but her joints are less swollen.
Yeah.
We were talking before about the gut-joint connection in the first hour, that what goes on in the gut can create inflammation, and it can create inflammatory, cytokine, all this stuff that can affect joints.
Yeah.
It cause joint inflammation, osteoarthritis, things of that nature.
Yeah.
And so that's why we tell people to clean up your diet, to drink more water, to eat foods that create healing to your soft tissues, for your tendons, ligaments, cartilage, all that stuff. And because that's part of it. It's not, you can't just get adjusted and then keep doing destructive habits.
Which was what I did for years.
Remember that movie Jerry Maguire?
Uh-huh.
And there's a scene where he's talking to Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba Gooding
right?
Jr. Yeah.
And was it Tom Cruise who was saying, "Help me to help you"?
Yeah.
I said, "Sorry, I want to tell. Help me to help you."
Show
you
me
have
the
to
money.
do
No,
your
I'm just
part.
Yeah, you do.
I said the title of this thing. I said, "Your leader and your life and health is waiting for its leader to show up." That's you. Lead your health. Lead your life. It's not. No one's going to do it for you in this life. It's up to you.
I'm going to add something else to that too. Is with the family that you were talking about. Mom made a decision to transform the whole family. Not everybody has that luxury of transforming the whole family.
No.
But if you feel like you need to wake up, smell the coffee, and change your life, you do not need husbands, wives, children to follow. You can do it all by yourself.
You can, because it is often hard to get everyone on the same page, especially a spouse.
Or sometimes impossible.
Sometimes the person doesn't believe it, doesn't want to live that way, and that's okay. If they want to choose to live different, then they can. But that doesn't mean you slide back and don't live your potential because someone else doesn't want to live theirs. That's not what's good for you.
Make yourself the priority.
And if they give you a hard time because you're trying to be healthier, well, that's just idiocy.
Yeah.
If you're trying to be healthier, doing better, losing weight, and they're giving you a hard time about it, that's probably them just, feeling self-conscious maybe, or them just being a jerk. But,
Yeah, but people feel like just because everybody in the house is, because the family that you're referring to, poor thing, they all have so many different sensitivities.
Here's the thing, and here's what makes going from just mediocre to good to great.
Yeah.
She's created a chart of whose sensitivities are what.
Yeah. She's amazing. Like
So
we need to hire her
it's
to
customizing their life
Yeah.
to create. Why? Because she loves her children. They were having health issues. She saw she didn't want them living in the medical world with all these drugs at such a young age, thinking, what is it going to do to them later on? How can I fix this different? And now she's investing in her family. She's putting in the effort. It's not easy, but she's learning, and as she learns, it gets easier. But now it's a different routine. It's just a change of habit. It's a change of life, disciplines, choices, and whatever. It's a decision that she made for her and her family, and I hope she continues with the journey because you can't go wrong with it.
No, you can't. It's extraordinary to watch.
You can't turn around and say, what's wrong with you? I mean, people can have their comments and say whatever they want, but I mean, that's what I wish and want, but that's what it takes. That's what it takes for people. So we're coming up on our midpoint break. We got about 30 seconds left. You're listening to Klein Time. I'm Dr. David Calabro, in for Dan Klein. He's on a special assignment, and I'm trying to fill in the great Dan Klein's big shoes. Hopefully I'm entertaining you. You know what? I hope I'm not entertaining you. I hope I'm educating you, inspiring, and motivating you this 2 hours to just live better. Take one or two things that you heard, apply it, and start there. And don't turn that channel. We'll be back in a short bit.
I think we need to have that mom on the show on Saturday.
Yeah, I was going to ask her if she wanted to do it.
On this vote, the yeas are 94.
She should bring Ken's with her too. Not Kay, but Ken's will do good. That would be fun. We've never had a kiddo in the studio.
I think I had one years ago.
Did you?
Before
I mean, nobody since I was around.
Yeah.
Just miles away from the suburb of Brooklyn Center,
I'm trying to think.
where
I
the
think I did.
20-year-old was shot and killed by
I've
a
had
police officer
Prego
when
moms in the
shot.
studio together. I got to do that show. That was
His
fun.
family are also there following this week's murder conviction of former officer Derek Chauvin, the Reverend Al Sharpton delivering the eulogy.
How long is this break for?
I don't know.
I want to return your mom's call real quick. I'll be right back.
So we're in a little break. I don't exactly know how long they're going to be. Usually they're anywhere from 3 to 6 minutes, so I'm just kind of hanging for a minute. So if I'm just standing here, sitting here, staring at you or staring down, I know it's a boring little few minutes, but hang in there. We'll get back to the show in a little bit. Or if you have questions, I don't have my phone, obviously it's over there, so if you ask me anything, I can't really answer it because I don't see it. But I can answer it later. And but if you have questions, you can call into the show. We're here live. 609-927-1100. Call in, share your comments, share your thoughts on whatever subject matter related to health and wellness. There's some things I purposely don't bring on the air because, I mean, I have before and it's created arguments and fights and and whatnot, but especially the topics of vaccinations or topics of COVID and things of that nature. Actually, COVID hasn't caused any fights. The topic of vaccination usually does, so I tend to stay away from that right now. But if you have any, again, comments or questions or ideas or topics for the next half of the show, we have 30 minutes left, feel free. I'd rather go with what you want to go with and share your ideas and share the holistic approach than try and figure out what people want to hear. Okay, I'm going to shut up for a minute and just sit here and drink my green tea. I'm going to push paper around. See if I can create an idea for my second half.
What do we got here? Hold on, people.
I don't know. I told him I was just going to sit here and push paper around for a few minutes and stop talking.
We're drinking. Terry says hi,
Hi, Terry.
and we are drinking green tea also. Hi, Terry. I stepped away for a second. I was telling somebody about your tea, and they didn't realize it was exclusive. Exclusive to Starbucks. Hi, Blanca. How you feeling today?
Oh, yeah, it's a Jade Citrus Mint Tea by Tivana. As far as I know, the only places that have Tivana are Starbucks. It used to be, Tivana used to be a separate store, and then I think Starbucks purchased them.
Yeah, I don't. All I know is that that particular tea is exclusive to Starbucks only.
Yeah, I don't think you can find it anywhere else.
But our girls love us, so they sell it to me by the case. So I can create very. Well, actually, Angela creates those. I don't. She's the one with the creative mind. Oh my goodness. People have to really wake up and realize that they have to associate themselves with more positive thoughts. Not even just what you read, what you eat, who you surround yourself with, but most importantly, what you think.
Yeah, by
Like
yourself.
what you think of yourself. I've heard you say that many times.
Your self-image.
Yeah, but like I was with a woman this morning, and I can't. I said, stop saying I can't. Say I can and I will.
If you say you can't, you can't.
Yeah, if you can't, then you're not going to be able to do it. I just kept saying you can, you will.
Yourself you can't.
Then you won't be able to.
You can't.
And health comes from you, not to you. Like, I feel like all I do is just spew out Dr. Dave comments all day long.
I don't know. I just say the same thing over and over, and trying to say.
Well,
it
repetition
different ways.
is part of what you do.
Because it's the foundation of stuff. I know people want what are the the 6 supplements to improve your energy or your sleep or whatever, and I get that. I mean, we could do that, but I want them to first get the foundation of it all, because then they feel better. They don't even have to worry about, well, what supplements do I need for X, Y, and Z?
Mm-hmm. No, it's true.
All the time. I mean, they're just trying. Some people are still living poorly and just, they've chosen to try and just use alternative or holistic treatments instead of medical, which are obviously, in my opinion, better. But, they're still not addressing the underlying cause of what's going on to begin with.
Mm-hmm. I thought she tapped. Must have been the wind.
So I don't know. We must be coming back soon. It's a long break. It's like so far 8 minutes, I think.
Mm-hmm. It might be a 10-minute. I mean, I know the whole power of positive thinking, but it's just, I don't know. It hit me hard today. You gotta just, I can, I will, I'm gonna.
You had an aha moment.
Mm-hmm. I did, and I was in her face too. Literally in her face going, stop saying you can't, because you can. And you will.
Did you brush your teeth? You didn't eat garlic before that, did you?
But she did say to me, you just going to eat an orange for lunch? Yeah, that's it. You don't want some meatloaf? Yeah, it's just the whole, I don't know. It was definitely an aha moment. Mm.
How much time, Audra?
About a minute and some change.
A minute and change.
Kind of change. nickel, a couple dimes.
Like 30 seconds. Quarter.
A quarter. I think what's hard for me is that I've made so much change in such a short period of time, and now I'm like, why doesn't everybody just listen to me? Nobody wants to listen to me, so now I know how you feel.
You just go through the day saying stuff to people and then like not doing it, and you just want to bang your head against the wall. So.
No, and because of social media, you see everything people are doing. And then you're like, they were just in here the other day telling me that they don't do that. Now they're doing what? A liar. No, I just go home at night and drink whiskey and go to sleep. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what a lot of people do.
I do that occasionally, but not every night. Yeah, in the interest of full disclosure, I have acquired a taste for whiskey. And red wine.
I haven't had hard alcohol in years.
But good whiskey, not cheap stuff. Like Johnny Walker and stuff like that.
I'm trying to think. I think the last drink I had was Easter. I think the last drink I had before that might have been Christmas.
Like any alcohol at all?
Yeah.
You're back.
All right, we're back. Thanks for being here. You're listening to Klein Time. I'm Dr. David Calabro, filling in for the great Dan Klein. My office is located in Linwood, New Jersey, in Central Square. The phone number there is 609-653-9501. Go to calabrochiropractic.com. We do 30-minute free consultations. Call up, come in. Let's talk about what's going on with you, what you want to accomplish, how to improve your health. Tell you how we'll do it. If you want to go forward, we'll love to have you. If you don't, then you can just leave, go about your way, and be sick.
Well.
But no, call the office, 609-653-9501. We'd love to help you. I'd love to help you. I'd love to be part of your wellness journey. Here, call live, 609-927-1100, live in the studio. Want to hear from you. What are your comments? What is your adventure through this thing called health and wellness? If you had health issues and recovered them naturally, want to hear your story. Let's hear what you went through. Let's hear what you did. People want to hear those things. Because I sit here and make all these claims and people say, oh yeah, he's just full of it. It's always nice to hear when other people tell their story and tell what they did to get to where they are and improve their health and wellness, you know. People want to hear that. They want to hear other people being successful and stuff, especially regaining their health, because it's such a uncommon thing in most people's lives to see people do a life transformation and regain their health. It's not common. You know, most people see just the people around them degenerate into further health problems. But, you know, again, Thomas Edison, the doctor of the future, will give no medicine, but will interest his patients in the care of the human frame, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease. I say Hippocrates, the father of medicine, said the greatest medicine of all is teaching people not to need it. It's the father of medicine, telling people the best medicine of all is teaching people not to need it.
I like that one.
However, if you need it, it's there, but you don't want to need it. If you can avoid needing it, do it.
Well, and you know, to jump off of that cliff for a second, and I'm not saying this is for everybody, but, and if you're on stuff, you may not necessarily need to be on it forever just because someone told you have to be on it forever. Just saying.
No, it's true, because people think, oh, it's, you know, they'll look at, okay, they'll get their blood work done. High cholesterol, right? They go get put on cholesterol meds. Then they get blood work again. Oh, look, it's working. You're healthy, you're good, your numbers are good. Well, that's a medicated number, that's not healthy. You're not healthy just because a medication is working and says you're good. You have a cholesterol problem. It might be a diet issue. It might be another underlying issue why your cholesterol is high.
Right.
You know, But people think they're on their drugs and their blood pressure lowers or their cholesterol lowers and now they're healthy. No, that's not how it works. They're just medicating you to make sure something's back in range. Can it help? It may prolong your life, yeah. But it doesn't actually address the underlying condition or situation of why you have it to begin with. Before we were talking about frequency of care. It kind of veered off on a tangent. And someone asked me, well, how often should I be coming in? You know, because she hadn't been in for a few weeks, started doing yard work. Time people are starting to do yard work, right? So people are coming in and they're doing yard work and they're feeling pain or whatever, discomfort from activity they haven't done in a long time, or a year, or whatever, or because people have been sitting more. You know, people go out and start doing some activity and they're sore, they're discomfort, or they cause pain or cause an issue. And my answer was, it depends on the amount of stress that you're putting on your body and in your life. That's the frequency of care. In the beginning, people come in more frequent when they first start. It's a retraining process. It's first to get them through symptoms, then it's to create some stability, and then it's to create more health and wellness. There's stages and phases. You know, it could take 6 to 12 weeks to heal ligaments. You know, you get a ligament sprain, and people have been walking around with spinal problems for years, and it can take 6 to 12 weeks for the ligaments to heal and create stability. So, you know, you're going to feel better much sooner than you are better. In most cases, people start feeling better within the first month or within 3 to 4 weeks usually. Some people are like immediately. They have one adjustment, it's like their life is just transformed in one visit. Other people, it takes time. Most people, it's just a process of time, but they typically start feeling better in the 3rd week and going into the 4th week. That seems to be the more common time frame of when people start to notice a change, whether it be range of motion and pain, and nerve symptoms, and whatever they came in with. But then the ligaments have to heal. It could take, again, 6 to 12 weeks for ligaments to heal, especially in the spine or anywhere else. So it takes a little while. So you're talking 2 to 3 months to become somewhat stable to get into the next phase of rebuilding and stability and strengthening and all that stuff. So it takes time. It's a process over time. But in that, once people get to a phase of, say, they've passed the acute phase of coming in, pain management, pain relief, symptom relief, setting the foundation, then strengthening and stability and doing better and better. Now they're getting into more of a wellness kind of phase of it. That's going to be dependent on a few things. And when people make their care plan, I'm just coming in every 3 weeks. Well, why? What made you decide that? That's what I feel like it, or that's just what my own insurance covers. Okay, well then understand the consequence of that. Understand that you're not necessarily going to fix anything or prevent anything down the road because maybe your condition requires more frequency than that. You know, if you have advanced arthritis in your spine and you have weak links, or you have trauma, or you have a spondylolisthesis, or you have herniated discs, or you have all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, you know, you find out that, okay, maybe you hold your adjustments 2 weeks, and your frequency of care maybe should be 10 days, so you don't get to the point of symptoms or pain again. So it's not, what I'm saying is it's not, there's no cookbook. It's not stagnant for everybody, and your frequency will change. In other words, say you start to exercise, you haven't worked out in a long time, you might need to come in more frequently to get you through that beginning stages of working out and stressing your body out. You might be holding your adjustments as long as you're putting more stress on your body than what it can handle right now. So you might be say you come in every other week, that's your frequency right now, and then all of a sudden you start working out, and I'm like, you feel symptoms or something happens, I'm like, all right, well, next week I need to see you 2 times, 3 times. I need to see you 2 or 3 times for the next 2 weeks to get you back on track, or to get your symptoms under control, or get you more stable, or whatever it is, what phase they're in. So it's not an easy question for everybody as to what's my frequency of care. It's going to be dependent on what are your health goals. If you tell me you want stellar health, that's a whole different frequency than I just kind of want to manage some stuff.
Right.
You know, that's so frequent. So your health goals are part of it. Your underlying condition is part of it. Some people don't have a lot of spine problems. Other people are riddled with massive spine problems, or arthritic changes, degeneration, scoliosis, previous fractures, previous traumas. Well, that's going to play a role. Those are all weak links. We can get them stronger, stabilize them, rehab them, but they're always going to be a weak link because limitation of matter. You lost stuff. You lost cartilage. You lost, disc, whatever it is, part of your disc, whatever. There's instability there. You don't have a complete strong structure. So your health goals, your underlying condition, your stress levels, physical, chemical, emotional stresses. What are you doing to yourself? We talked earlier about the effect of diet on your joints. If your diet is poor, if you're smoking cigarettes, eating processed foods, and drinking a lot of soda, you're going to probably be inflamed joints and arthritic, and you're not going to feel very good. So it's your diet matters. So there's all these factors into the whole thing. Physical stress. Just think about now. People are sitting longer. They're hunched over more. They're less active than they were. It depends on how they sleep, how they stand, how they hold themselves, if they're exercising, how they're doing everyday activities. How they get in and out of a car. Are they sleeping on a recliner with their head hanging down? Are they talking on the phone with a trap between their shoulder and their ear? Are they pick something that's physical? Reaching into a washer or dryer at home and carrying a laundry basket up steps all cockeyed. There's those are physical stresses. Then emotional. I think you have to talk about emotional. And then toxic stresses. What we put on or in our body. So there's all these different stresses that affect our body, that affect our health. And it's how you neutralize, mitigate those stresses that are going to also have an influence as to how your body ages, degenerates, becomes healthier, unhealthy, etc. It's a whole kit and caboodle of stuff.
It is. And like I said earlier, for me, it was just I just would get adjusted every week to 10 days.
Yeah.
That was it. And I thought that was enough. And then I took all my meds and still ate my cheeseburgers, and I thought that was doing it. But there was more to it than just the chiropractic adjustment.
Yeah.
And like you said about like different parts of the body, like I'll use myself as an example, my knee, I have no meniscus in my left knee. There's nothing there. Bone on bone, they wanted to do a knee replacement 20 years ago. But you keep that knee to the point where I can handle it. And it doesn't bother me as often as it used to because of weight loss and inflammation reduction, etc. But there's certain exercises that I'll ask you, should I do that? And you'll be like, no. You don't want to put that kind of pressure on the knees or the ankles because they're just not strong enough. But I get adjusted now more often because of the working out. Because I need to,
Yeah.
So those are examples of, when I have something stressful happens in my life. What's the first thing I say at the end of the night? Can you please adjust me? Because I know that adjustment is going to relieve some of that stress and help me sleep better.
Emotional stress, uncontrolled, will create all kinds of health problems in people.
It wreaks havoc.
Yep. Emotional stress, unchecked or uncorrected or left to just do its job, will wreak havoc in your life and in your health. So you have to have a way to deal with that.
And sleep is so important too.
Yeah.
Like, nobody sleeps.
Oh, there's a sleeping epidemic.
No
one gets... But, again, if people cleaned up their diet, got adjusted, reduced their stress levels, exercised more, just did things different, they would probably start sleeping better.
And I'm not talking about the length of sleep. Like they say you got to sleep for 8 hours. You got to get quality sleep when you sleep. Like when I go to sleep, I sleep good.
Yeah, me too.
I always did though. I have to say, even though I lived a crappy lifestyle, I always slept well. Boy, oh boy.
So, your job, people listening, your mission is to improve your health. No matter where you are right now, you could be doing better. And I would suggest coming into the office, sharing where you are, where you want to go, and let's figure out how we can help you. And all you got to do is call 653-9501 or go to collaborchiropractic.com. Also go to YouTube at Collabor Chiropractic and Wellness. You'll find some videos there of me adjusting people, pregnant women, adults, children, infants, and just get a sense of how I adjust people.
And subscribe while you're there too.
Yeah, subscribe and you'll get more of the videos as they come out. You'll get alerted as to when they come out. So, change your mind, change your environment, change your habits and disciplines, change your choices. Those are the ingredients, some of the ingredients. Self-discipline means self-love. Gotta love yourself. And if you don't, figure out how to love yourself more.
Yeah, I think that's a big key is learning to have self-love for sure.
Stop bathing in the talk of stress, of pandemics and viruses and deaths. That's not going to serve you at this point. Figure out what you need to do to strengthen your body, be healthier, regain your health, improve your immune system, because when the next epidemic, pandemic, viral season comes around, you want to be prepared. You've often heard me talk about that it's not the Olympic athlete, the NASCAR champion, the professional boxer champion, people that earn these high levels of championship or excellence. They don't get it in the moment. It's the preparedness of all the habits, disciplines, rituals, how they've treated themselves, how much intention and action and practice that they put into it to get them to the point so when they had to perform, they had the tools to perform. How is your immune system going to perform next time or tomorrow to whatever comes your way? How is it going to perform? Are you going to play defense and go into hiding and wear masks and go in a closet, maybe wear 2 masks and wait for all kinds of things to come out to shoot into you? Or are you going to have the confidence in your body and in your health because you lived well in order to create a healthy body, which is designed to deal with viruses, bacteria, and all this other stuff? We have an immune system. It was designed to handle it. You just have to feed it properly to strengthen it and allow it to do its job and get away from health problems and comorbidities which increase your risk of death. There's articles now showing that obesity is one of the biggest reasons people died with COVID-19. Obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, there's always an underlying inflammation to it all. You heard about the cytokine storm. It's a situation in your body that's out of control because your body's out of balance, because you put it there because of how you're living. And it's even suggesting now that obesity is even affecting the effectiveness of the vaccine. So your health matters. The status of your health matters. Prime your health. Prime your immune system. Chiropractic is part of that. Eating well is part of that. Exercising is part of that. Decreasing your stress is part of that. Drinking water and hydrating yourself is part of that. Positive mental attitude, major part of that. Those are the things you work on. Those are the things that strengthen you. That's called offense. That's putting you in preparedness. You don't score points on defense. You score points and win on offense. Become offensive with your health. Make it so good that you have no fear, worry, and concern, that you just have confidence, hope, and love throughout the whole thing, and know that you're going to get through this insanity, because you will. Do what's necessary to pump you up, to get you prepared, to be well, to avoid health problems, create health and wellness. You are the star of the show. You are your best ally. And don't live in fear, concern, and worry, because nothing good lives there. If I can help you with that, we can help you with that, call 609 653-9501. Well, this has been fun. I appreciate the 2 hours I've been here to fill in Klein time. I hope I did the job. I hope you tune in Saturday from 3 to 4 p.m. for our show, Creating Wellness Live. For Audra and Sally Ann, thank you. Love you and appreciate you. Go be stellar and well. All right. Facebook Live. Thanks for listening in. Appreciate you. Any comments or questions, put them in there and I'll look later.
Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.